Hello, and welcome to Lesson 2B of Discovering Albanian 1. In this lesson, Paola and Pierre are going to ask Drini where he's from and what languages he can speak. Listen to their conversation.
Po ju Drini, nga jeni?
Unë jam nga Shqipëria, jam shqiptar dhe flas shqip. A flisni ju frëngjisht? Jo, unë nuk flas frëngjisht, por flas pak anglisht.
Did you understand that? Paola asks Drini where he's from. He says he's from Albania, that he's Albanian and he speaks Albanian. Then Pierre asked him if he spoke French, and he says that he doesn't speak French, but he speaks a little English. Let's look at some of the new words that we find in this dialogue. We have the word for no. Drini says no, and that would be yo. Yo means no. And then we also have the word nuk. Un nuk flas frëngjisht. Nuk, in this case, is the way we negate a sentence. We will talk about this in the following slide. We also have the word pak. Flas pak anglisht. Pak means a little. We have the word por. Por flas pak anglisht. Por in this case means but. And notice that Pierre asked the question and he says, A flisni ju frëngjisht. This a doesn't mean anything. It's just a question mark. It tells us that we are asking a question. Okay, let's listen again and let's pay attention to these new words.
Po ju Drini, nga jeni?
Unë jam nga Shqipëria, jam shqiptar dhe flas shqip. A flisni ju frëngjisht? Jo, unë nuk flas frëngjisht, por flas pak anglisht.
Okay, let's see what we learned or what we discovered in this new dialogue. We saw that to make an affirmative sentence, typically we use the word order, the subject, the verb, and then the complement or the object. So in this case, we would say, Ju flisni frëngjisht. If we want to make the question, there are two ways that we can make a simple question. A simple question is a question that we can answer yes or no. One way to ask that question is we invert the subject and the verb. So in this case, we can say, Flisni ju frëngjisht? Flisni ju. Notice that we switch the order of the subject and the verb. The other way that we heard in the dialogue is that you can ask the question, you can do the inversion, but then you add this question marker, a. So you can say, A flisni ju frëngjisht? So this a doesn't mean anything, it just tells us that this is a question. Now, how do we answer a question? Well, we can answer a question in the affirmative. So if you want to say yes, you say po. In this case, po un flas frëngjisht. If you want to answer in the negative, then you say jo. Jo means no, and you also need to negate the sentence, and the way you negate the sentence is you put nuk in front of the verb. So you say jo un nuk flas frëngjisht. Let's listen to the dialogue again, paying attention to these constructions, and if you want, read along with the speakers.
Po ju Drini, nga jeni?
Unë jam nga Shqipëria, jam shqiptar dhe flas shqip. A flisni ju frëngjisht? Jo, unë nuk flas frëngjisht, por flas pak anglisht.
In the previous lesson, we learned how to say the name of a few countries. We learned how to say we are from those countries. We learned how to say the nationality and the main language in those countries. Let's add some more countries to our list. We have Germany, that's Germany. If we want to say that we are from Germany, we have to use the definite form. So we would say nga Germania. Nationality would be masculine form German, feminine form Germane, and the language would be Germanisht. Greci is Greece. If we want to say from Greece, we would say nga Grecia. The nationality would be Grek for masculine, Greke for feminine, and Grecist would be the language. Kin is China. If we want to say from China, we would say nga Kina. The language would be Kinesist, and the nationality would be Kines or Kinese. España is Spain. If we want to say from Spain, we would say nga España. The nationality would be Español, Española for the feminine, and the language would be Spanish. Notice that all these nouns here, all these countries, are feminine. In Albanian, the words that end in a vowel are typically feminine. Now, if a word ends in a stressed E sound, then we make the definite form by adding an A. So we say Germany, Germania, Greci, Grecia. If the noun ends in an unpronounced E, like kin or España, we change the E into an A, and that makes the definite form. So we have kin, Kina, España, España. Now, what about the US? How do we say the US? Well, you can say Amerik, and then the definite form would be America. The nationality would be American, feminine, Americane. The language, of course, is going to be Anglisht. However, we use this form only when we talk. If you want to be a little more formal, or you're writing, then in that case you have to use the official name of the United States, which is the United States of America. And in that case, you would need to say Shtetet e Bashkuara te Amerikas. Shtetet e Bashkuara te Amerikas. Now, that is a very long name. So for short, you can also say, like we say USA, you can say SHBA. SHBA, that's USA. Okay, are you ready for a big challenge? You're going to listen to a new conversation, and you're going to have to decide whether these four people that you have here, Ava, Pieri, Paola, and Bessa, speak any of these languages that you have there: Italisch, Frenchish, Spanish, Germanish, and Ship. You have to decide whether they speak it, they don't speak it, or they speak a little. And you have to answer those two questions at the end. Nga este Ava, and you have to complete the sentence Bessa este nga, and you will have to see where she's from. So let's listen to this conversation. You're not going to understand every word, but you should be able to understand the main meaning. Okay? In normal conversation, when you're speaking a foreign language, you will not be able to understand every word, but you should understand enough to understand the general meaning. So go for the general meaning, and in this case, you want to get this information. We will listen to this dialogue twice. Let's go.
Si e Pierre?
Mirë, faleminderit. Po ti, Paula?
Mirë në përgjithësi. Pierre, kush është ajo?
Ajo është Ava.
Përshëndetje, Ava. Nga jeni ju?
Jam nga Franca. Po ju?
Jam nga Italia. A flisni ju italisht?
Jo, nuk flas italisht. Unë flas frëngjisht dhe pak spanjisht, kurse Pieri flet frëngjisht dhe pak gjermanisht. Po ju, flisni frëngjisht?
Flas pak. Po ti Besa, a flet frëngjisht?
Edhe unë flas pak frëngjisht, po flas shumë mirë shqip,
Pse flet shqip mirë?
sepse jam shqiptare.
Si e Pierre?
Mirë, faleminderit. Po ti, Paula?
Mirë në përgjithësi. Pierre, kush është ajo?
Ajo është Ava.
Përshëndetje, Ava. Nga jeni ju?
Jam nga Franca. Po ju?
Jam nga Italia. A flisni ju italisht?
Jo, nuk flas italisht. Unë flas frëngjisht dhe pak spanjisht, kurse Pieri flet frëngjisht dhe pak gjermanisht. Po ju, flisni frëngjisht?
Flas pak. Po ti Besa, a flet frëngjisht?
Edhe unë flas pak frëngjisht, po flas shumë mirë shqip,
Pse flet shqip mirë?
sepse jam shqiptare.
Si e Pierre?
Mirë, faleminderit. Po ti, Paula?
Mirë në përgjithësi. Pierre, kush është ajo?
Ajo është Ava.
Përshëndetje, Ava. Nga jeni ju?
Jam nga Franca. Po ju?
Jam nga Italia. A flisni ju italisht?
Jo, nuk flas italisht. Unë flas frëngjisht dhe pak spanjisht, kurse Peri flet frëngjisht dhe pak gjermanisht. Po ju flisni frëngjisht?
Flas pak. Po ti Besa, a flet frëngjisht?
Edhe unë flas pak frëngjisht, po flas shumë mirë shqip,
Pse flet shqip mirë?
sepse jam shqiptare.
Let's look at the new words in this dialogue.
Si je Pierre?
Mirë faleminderit. Po ti, Paula?
Mirë në përgjithësi. Pierre, kush është ajo?
Ajo është Ava.
Përshëndetje Ava. Nga jeni ju?
Jam nga Franca, po ju?
Jam nga Italia. A flisni ju italisht?
Jo, nuk flas italisht. Unë flas frëngjisht dhe pak spanjisht, kurse Peri flet frëngjisht dhe pak gjermanisht. Po ju flisni frëngjisht?
Flas pak. Po ti Besa, a flet frëngjisht?
Edhe unë flas pak frëngjisht, po flas shumë mirë shqip,
Pse flet shqip mirë?
sepse jam shqiptare.
So here we have the word në përgjithësi. That means in general. So I speak well in general. We also have the word përshëndetje, that means greetings, and that's another way to say hello. Përshëndetje. Here Ava says kurse Pieri flet frëngjisht. Kurse in this case means but. And here we have edhe un flas pak frëngjisht, so that means me too, I also. And here we have the question for why, we say pse, and to answer a question with why, we say sepse. Sepse. Okay, now read the dialogue along with the speakers and pay attention to these new words. You should understand everything now.
Si je Pierre?
Mirë faleminderit. Po ti, Paula?
Mirë në përgjithësi. Pierre, kush është ajo?
Ajo është Ava.
Përshëndetje Ava. Nga jeni ju?
Jam nga Franca, po ju?
Jam nga Italia. A flisni ju italisht?
Jo, nuk flas italisht. Unë flas frëngjisht dhe pak spanjisht, kurse Peri flet frëngjisht dhe pak gjermanisht. Po ju flisni frëngjisht?
Flas pak. Po ti Besa, a flet frëngjisht?
Edhe unë flas pak frëngjisht, po flas shumë mirë shqip,
Pse flet shqip mirë?
sepse jam shqiptare.